Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney and got a giant pimple. Um, on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. And today, we're talking about a weird thing that keeps coming up. It's been coming up a lot lately, but it's been coming up for a solid decade now. And it's divorcees. It's divorcees in the workplace. Um, both genders of divorcees, and we have to talk about how they come up. So first and foremost, this is what we see. Somebody goes in HR and is like, "Hey, this is weird, but like Cindy said some inappropriate things to me and like slapped my butt," and HR is like, "Oh yeah, well, see, Cindy just got divorced. Cindy's newly divorcee, and she's just kind of getting her groove back. So you just let it slide. It's a phase. She's gonna get out of that phase. It's gonna be fine." Um, or conversely, somebody goes to HR and like, "Hey, Steve is over there at the holiday party. He keeps asking to see the intern's boobs." And it's just like, "Oh, well, everyone's drinking a little bit, and Steve just got divorced. He hasn't been in the game in a long time. He doesn't really know how to act yet. So like, if we could just be understanding, he's a divorcee, so we have to be understanding. He doesn't know what to do. He hasn't dated in a while. And with all due respect, um, and there is respect due. Like getting a divorce is, I suspect, incredibly hard, incredibly challenging, with huge emotional costs. It's taxing. It's going to make your decision making worse because you're upset and exhausted. It's going to make you venture into new areas of your life that maybe you haven't ventured into in quite some time, like dating and flirting and all these things that you might not have done while you're married, right? And I feel for the divorcees. I do. Um, but Cindy doesn't get to get her groove back with her subordinates or her coworkers. And Steve doesn't get to be a creepy old man because he forgot how to be charming when he dates. Like, there's no um, slack built into, at least not the federal laws, and certainly not the New York State laws, that govern sexual harassment in the workplace or discrimination in the workplace for divorcees. Title VII is not like, listen, um, can't be sexually harassing people unless you're like just getting back out there. Then we get it. That's tough. We're gonna give you a little room. That's not how it's written. That's not the law. So if you go to HR and you complain about somebody and they say to you, "Well, he or she is a divorcee, so we've got to let's talk about this." No, no, HR, no. This is my job. This is how I put a roof over my head, food on my plate. This is how my kids eat. This is my goddamn job. This is how I survive, and I don't care what's going on in Steve's life. I'm sad for Steve, perhaps, or maybe I'm glad for Steve. Maybe Steve was in an emotionally abusive marriage. I don't fucking know. Nobody cares because I'm not friends with Steve. I work with Steve, and so Steve does not get to come here and ask to see my boobies or whatever the fuck Steve is doing, right? Like, it's not. There's no special dispensation for sad Steve who's getting a divorce. If HR tells you, "Oh, they're divorcees," it's not what you think it is. No, it is what you think it is. And there's no room for being a divorcee in terms of office sexual harassment. And so if HR says that to you, say, "Okay, I hear you, and I want this person to be okay, but you, HR, have a choice. You can fix the problem, or I'm going to call an attorney," right? There's no, "Oh, well, if Steve is sad, then I guess he can ruin my life. He can treat me like an object in the workplace and abuse his position of power over me. If he's sad, I guess that's okay. There is no special dispensation for divorcees. It's not a thing. And the HR professionals who talk that way are stupid. Those are stupid people who should not have their jobs. The end. Like and subscribe. Helps me to help more people just like you. And remember, everybody works. Not everybody wins. Take care.